Is this the first time you've met Jews face to face?
Yes, this is definitely my first time.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about it?
Well, to be honest, I knew before I came that it wouldn't make such difference because I Skype and I Facebook and message and phone Israelis and Jews in general for 2 years straight. And especially when you Skype with someone, it's like you're sitting on a table with, you know. So, to be honest, there's not much of a difference to me from Skyping to meet face to face.
Okay. Is there anything that surprised you here?
A lot. It's amazing how, for the first time, I come here and finally meeting people who shares the same views and the same dreams that I have about peace and activism and the conciliation between Jews and Muslims, Israelis and Arabs. You know, so it's amazing. I feel like home. Yeah, I feel like I'm with family. Yeah. So it's amazing. Yeah.
What's your ethnic background?
My ethnic background is my mother. Well, both my parents were born in the United States, but my mother, her parents were from China, and she wasn't originally Jewish, but she had, in order to marry my father, his parents were from Iraq. They are Iraqi Jews. They're a very traditional family. So my father's not so religious, but in order for, like, the family to approve the marriage, she converted to Judaism. So I'm halachically Jewish and Chinese and Iraqi.
Is this the first time you've met and really talked to Muslims?
I think it's the first time I've really talked to religious Muslims. I know a lot of, I have some friends who are, I know a lot of Turks, actually, who are Muslims, but they're like really secular from Istanbul and don't practice basically anything. So I say this is the first time I'm meeting like what one thinks of when they think of a Muslim, rather than just like some guy who was born in a Muslim country.
What surprised you most about the Muslims you met?
They're very. See, I think what surprised me most was the fact that they're not as like, they kind of, you always view, when you're Jewish, you always view like Judaism, like kind of, especially like if you only keep some of the laws and you're not strictly Orthodox, you always do it with like kind of a sense of humor.
Okay.
Kind of like you can
Like, give an example. What do you mean?
Like you're like it's not taken so seriously, like your religion. Like you still practice it and you can have faith, but it's not like I'm gonna be offended if you insult Judaism or something like that.
Okay.
Whereas a lot of times through the media, you view Muslims and Islam as a religion as a whole as being much more sensitive. And from what I've spoken to here, that I think that to a degree that is true, but I think it's because the orthodoxy of Islam is much more stronger and prominent than in Judaism.
Okay.
But here the Muslims were very talkative and casual about their religion, and they weren't as like strict and like hard about like you have to be very PC the whole time, you know, which was nice. It made for casual conversation, which was good.
Your face. Okay, so you are from Saudi Arabia.
Yes, but originally from Pakistan.
Okay. And what were some of the good things about meeting Jews here?
I got to see a different perspective on things, on religion. It was my first time meeting with them. I got a platform where I could ask questions because this was what it was about, you know, trying to get to know each other. And then I also answered a lot of questions. There was a lot of questions from the Jews. So it was nice to finally get to know what they're thinking and what they think of us and how they look at all the conflicts or anything in the world. So.
Okay. What was the most surprising thing when meeting? Because it was the first time you met somebody who was Jewish.
Yeah, surprising thing. I'm surprised that actually in any of my conversations, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict did not come up, which was surprising for me. Yes.
What surprised you most meeting Muslims here?
That they are mostly curious about me and my country and my group that I came and my ideology.
And which is?
Which I'm a Zionist, proud and clear, and also but criticize my people and my government. Put some lemon on it. And it was very important to me that they will know that we are all like human beings and have our own opinions. And things are not like they seem.
How is it different than, let's say, in Israel talking to somebody who's Muslim? Because obviously in Israel...
Oh, in Israel everything is framed on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. No matter what, from food to politics, it will end in the conflict somewhere.
Okay. And here?
Here I think it's personally we managed to do it in very controlled way, extremely controlled way. But still, I had the talks about it, private talks between small groups, and it was fine.
Is this the first time you've met Jews in person?
Yes.
Okay. And what surprised you most?
I think so it's a difficult question. She's distracting. She's trying to seduce me. Anyway, so I didn't come up with any preconceived notions that, that's how Jewish people would be. So I had some idea that there are varying degrees of how religious or cultural you are as a Jew, and that's what I saw here. I mean, it was like some people were more religious and more cultural, some people were less, and I don't think I was surprised by any one characteristic. Maybe I was a little surprised by how many differences they have within each other, and that is something that probably surprised me. Yeah.
At this conference was the first time you met somebody who's Muslim?
Through the conference, I'm actually part of the team. I do videography, so through the conference, in the pre-conference meeting, I met Mustafar, who is the sort of Muslim head to Ben, who's the Jewish head, and was actually the creator of the co-creator of the conference.
Okay.
And he was the first Muslim who I sat down with.
Okay. And what were you surprised by?
I was surprised by the, to be completely honest, the not mannerism, but due to our media, I imagine a sensitivity and sort of a short temper, a short fuse to Muslims.
Okay.
I thought anything I say could trigger like
anger,
the fundamentalist inside him. So.
And you didn't find that.
Oh, he was so much more chill than I was. As an anxious New York Jew, he was Pakistani. He wasn't even Arab. It's like I just spoke to an Indian, and I figured India's Indians, but it's Tamil, it's Urdu, it's like thousands of different, 1,600 different languages. And that's the same thing with the Muslim world.
I'm half Yemeni, half Hungarian.
Sure.
Well,
what most surprised you meeting Jews here for the first time?
Firstly, what surprised me here that it will be Israelis. It surprised me a lot.
Okay, so what surprised you about Israelis? Or did anything surprise you?
This is the first surprise. The second surprise was, it's actually not surprise, it was the experience of get to know them, get to talk with them, to ask them questions, to have the different answers for them, to understand their point of view, for example, about Israeli-Palestinian conflict from the Israeli point of view, from the Jewish point of view. So I think it was great, and I liked this experience so much.
Okay, what did you like most about the Jews that you met?
That we are similar, actually. Our culture is similar, our language is similar, a lot of points in our religion are similar. The way of our think is similar. So I how can I say? Actually, I consider them as our cousins, as Arabs. They are our cousins, and so it's like a big family, I guess.
And this is the first time you've met anyone who's Muslim, like really talked to anybody?
No, I have a friend who's Muslim, but he's like very, very secular. Like you've seen him drink before. I mean, he's not really religious in any way. I haven't seen much.
So here, religious Muslims, you met?
Yeah, first time I've ever really met like anyone with like a head covering and something like that.
Was there anything that surprised you about them?
Not particularly. I wouldn't think like everything. Like until I was about 8, growing up in like a Zionist Jewish community, it's almost embarrassing, but like I had sort of everything I'd heard was just bad about Muslims. Like I had an idea, like I like there was just a common idea, at least in my school, people I knew, that that Muslims and Arabs are pretty much the same people. Like I only discovered like a white Muslim person when I was like, I guess, surfing the internet at age 13. It was a hilarious thought to me. But yeah, it's. I'd say I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I guess once I realized that not all Muslims are like bad. Like I'd heard. Like I had actually the 5th grade. I went to a Zionist Jewish school. Growing up, the 5th grade, I had a teacher who ran a Zionism class. Who I remember my mother telling me that not all Arabs are bad. Not all Arabs are Muslim. Not all Muslims are bad. And I brought that up in her class as she was sort of ranting hatred against Islam and Palestine, I guess. Yeah, so I brought up not all Arabs are bad, right? And she says, yeah, but even the good ones. Like I knew of, I heard a story about a good Arab or a good Muslim who had a bomb in his car or something. That someone told him that someone had strapped a bomb to his engine or something. If he started it, it would explode. So he went and got his son to start the car. It exploded. It was bad. So even the bad ones or even the good ones are really bad. So that was sort of like the image I had until I actually I guess doing my own research, I found that no, it's just a religion. Like such a huge percentage of people on Earth are Muslim, and so few are actually like I guess behind terrorist attacks. Like it's really I'm almost really disappointed in my own Jewish community for sort of building that belief on me.
And this is the first time you have met somebody who is Jewish.
Yes, actually, face to face, yes, it is the first time.
And what's something that surprised you about Jews?
Kind. I thought that they will be like a little rude with us. They will speak like, "What are you doing there? What are you doing here?" But they are actually kind. They speak to me about Yemen. They know a lot of things about Yemen. I thought that they just hate Arabs, but they actually eat the same food like us, shafut, lahouh, the same food, and it was like surprise for me, really.
What did you like most about the Jews that you met?
They are funny, and also they want to know a lot of information about us. They are also welcoming to ask any question. They invite me sometime to drink with them, to eat with them, and it was like we are one family, really.